welcome to Two Guys in a Wrestling Podcast. I'm Michael Keaton, of course, as always, here with my cohort in crime, Joel.
Okay, well, I guess that was about the best intro I could expect from the love child of Marco Stunt and Paul Heyman. So, thanks.
Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
First of all, I'm not Marco Stunt. I didn't break my leg.
I said the love child of. That's your daddy. Don't talk about your daddy like that.
There's actually another stunt, and he's supposed to be wrestling at the GCW Backyard Wrestling. Yeah, they have a show called Backyard Wrestling.
And I guess you would know that, Yarder.
No, it's because it popped up on my Facebook and Twitter.
It has a... Yeah, backyard wrestling is just like herpes. As soon as you think you get rid of it, they just pop back up again.
Well, I mean, it's the show called Backyard Wrestling, but GCW is mostly like a hardcore thing. I think Joey Janela actually owns it.
And that tells me everything I need to know about that.
David Arquette was there recently. He about died.
So that's actually the one where Marco Stunt did break his leg, and they cut David Arquette's throat with glass.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Nick Gage about killed him.
So that's the idiots of pro wrestling.
Pretty much.
I mean,
it's a bunch of deathmatch guys.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even know where to start with the fact that David Arquette should never even be in a ring. I mean, at least you got to give him a little credit now because he's like, hey, I had no clue what I was doing. They threw me in there. They said this is the idea. I played a part.
I can appreciate David Arquette for this reason, and this reason only. His proceeds from WCW went to the families of Draws and Owen Hart. I can appreciate that.
And yeah, that's great. But the fact of it is, he never should have been champion.
Vince Russo has stated that it was not his idea to do that. It was Tony Schiavone's idea. I honestly believe it was Vince Russo's idea.
I know it was Vince Russo's idea. I think Tony Schiavone should kick him in the nuts for even suggesting that it was his idea. I mean, Tony Schiavone is he's been in this for years.
Yeah.
He is actually respected.
Yeah.
Vince Russo.
Ric Flair got him his job, actually.
Vince Russo wouldn't know a good idea if it jumped on his face and humped him.
The only good ideas that he had was because he had Vince McMahon as his filter. I mean, that's a bad thing to say right now, but that's basically how Vince Russo got popularity.
Well, yeah. I mean,
he had ideas of weird stuff happening, and Vince took some ideas from him, some ideas from other people, and melted those two together. And
well, yeah, that's just it. That's the creative process. I guess that's the thing. When he was in WWE, or F at that time was F, he was not the final say.
No, Vince is. Vince is always the final say. And that's the problem with AEW right now. You don't know who the final say is.
And, you look at like WWF at that time, you had Pat Patterson working in it. You had Gerald Briscoe.
Yeah, I think they were both road agents at the time.
Yeah, but I mean, they threw ideas.
They threw finishes in.
The fact is, and also at that time, when Vince Russo started being a booker in WWF, the
Jim
booking
Cornette
team
was there.
Was Jim Cornette, Terry Pritchard,
and actually Jim Cornette came up with the way that Kane made his debut at Bad Blood, because back in the day, I forgot what company it was. But it was like early 80s maybe, and there was this guy named he was this world's strongest man or whatever, and the way he debuted was in the cage match, and he tore the roof. He tore the door off the cage, and that's how Kane came into fruition. He tore the door off the cage.
Yeah, it was, and it definitely had saved Glenn Jacobs' career.
Oh, definitely.
I mean, let's face it. You had Isaac Yankel.
Yeah, and then you had him play Fake Diesel.
I mean,
which he lost a loser leaves town match to the fake Razor Ramon.
and
Smoky Mountain.
Yeah, they were basically.
I think Smoky Mountain, one of those. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, I think at that time, Smoky Mountain. Jim Cornette has said it. At that time, he basically worked with WWF to offset the costs that he was losing on Smoky Mountain.
And that's what kills me. ECW, Paul Heyman was getting a check from Mr. McMahon, but yet he was going back and telling his boys, "Oh, they're the bad guys. They're the bad guys."
Well, see, that's really what they needed to do, though, to save it, because they needed to come out as the renegade organization, the one that was anti everything that everything else stood for.
They had to be different.
Yeah, and it worked.
Because, I mean, they were going up against $1 billion, production budget, and they didn't have that.
Yeah, Paul Heyman's production budget sometimes was
25 cents.
For ECW was we'll work for food, 2 guys and a camera.
Pretty much.
I mean, that was just it. I mean,
towards the end of ECW, the only person that kept it really going at that time, because Paul was out trying to get other TV deals for ECW, was Tommy Dreamer.
Yeah. And Bubba Ray had a big part in it.
Yeah,
that a lot of people didn't realize.
I mean, he was booking arenas.
Yeah, it was a little engine that could.
Yeah.
But Lau, I guess that's a good segue into the other little engine that, may. I'm not even gonna say could.
What, AEW?
AEW.
I mean,
Fyter Fest.
Oh my God, there were some high spots in this.
I'm gonna set one thing clear right up front. I have not watched the entire thing. I sat and caught highlights of the 3 matches that interest me.
Mm-hmm.
And that was it, because,
I mean, I haven't watched all of it either, so don't feel bad. But from what I've seen of it, there are some good spots in it. There are some good matches in it. Surprisingly, the Moxley Janela match was actually a decent Wild West brawl.
Okay. Now, I'm not going to totally shit on Janela. I know a lot of people are probably expecting that, but I'm not going to totally do it.
That's a first.
Yeah.
Mark this date down.
I do think that match was way more competitive than it needed to be.
Yeah.
I think let's look at things right up front the way they are. Dean Ambrose is the hottest guy in wrestling right now. Or John Moxley, if you want to call him that. Let's face it. He's going by Moxley. Well, actually, he's going by Moxley. He's dropped the John part. He's just Moxley.
He dropped the John part?
Everyone calls him John, but when they announced him coming to the ring, it was Moxley.
Oh, okay.
Now, the announcer still called him John.
I didn't catch that.
But, and if anyone who hasn't seen the Moxley character, it's basically Dean Ambrose amped up.
Pretty much.
I mean, he's like Dean Ambrose on crack.
It's the non-PG version.
Yeah, he's a
as Janela said in his promo.
Yeah, he's the same guy, but like I said, in a whole different way. This guy's crazy. He will do anything. He'll hurt you.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I mean, when he did the spot of stomping Janela's hands and feet into the thumbtacks.
Oh, he stomped them? No, he did.
He stomped his hand. I'm sorry, he didn't do the feet. He stomped the hands.
Yeah,
because I know he did.
I know he did the atomic drop, and his feet went into him. I saw that.
Yeah, but then he's sitting there and he's got his hands out and he goes over and stomps them into the tacks. That's like But like I said, this guy's the hottest free agent in wrestling right now. He was. Before he signed I guess he signed an exclusive contract too.
I don't know if he's exclusive or not because he still works in New Japan, so I don't know.
This guy though is the hottest. He's the hottest thing going right now in wrestling.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
Because this guy literally walked off WWE TV and right into AEW.
Yeah, pretty much.
And they got him wrestling a guy in a hardcore match for no reason, really.
There really was no rhyme or reason to it.
And it's competitive.
A lot of these matches really didn't have a rhyme or reason to it.
Now, if you're booking this, you need this monster guy. And I'm not monster. I don't want to use the term monster, but you got this guy's crazy. He should have just came out there because Janela is a deathmatch guy. He could have and just got the crap kicked out of him.
It was a decent match though.
That's what I'm saying. It was good, but it was competitive, and it should not have been competitive at this stage.
I mean, honestly, Janela surprised me a lot. I mean, I don't know much about Janela. I've seen him a little bit in PWG, a little bit here and there. I don't know that much about him. I saw him in Combat Zone in the early Combat Zone days, but I don't know that much about him, honestly.
Yeah, and that's kind of the same. They're trying to bring that back in with Ambrose. I mean, I'm sorry, I call him. I know he's Mox, whatever. The he's Dean Ambrose.
Yeah, without a doubt, he's Dean Ambrose.
And before anyone tries to give me any crap on this, I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio. Well, not from. I wasn't born there, but I lived there for quite a long time. I was watching Moxley before anybody ever heard of him. I was seeing him live and in person. So I've been a fan of Dean Ambrose, John Moxley, whatever you want to call him. I've been a fan of his we're going on 13, 14, 15, 16 years.
I mean, I've watched a little bit of his stuff from Combat Zone whenever he was there before he came to WWE, and I even watched him in FCW.
I seen him take a reciprocating saw to his forehead.
Yeah, I saw that.
That was nasty.
You can literally see his bone of his skull.
So, I mean, I've been a fan of Moxley for some time.
What do you think of Darby Allin?
Okay.
I think I opened up a can of worms here. Sorry.
Okay. This guy, I think there is a place for him. I do not think he should have gone up against Cody Rhodes.
But you gotta admit,
I do not think he should have been as competitive with Cody Rhodes.
But you have to admit, with it going to a time limit draw, it invests. The viewers now more invested in who Darby Allin is.
But that's the problem. The viewers are more invested in who Darby Allin is, but they care less about who Cody Rhodes is, because who is this no-name guy that came in here? Cody Rhodes is supposed to be the second coming of Jesus, and this guy went in there and just took him to a draw.
Here's the thing. Everyone knows who Cody is.
Yes, but it hurts.
No one knows who Darby is.
It's not a matter of knowing or not knowing. It's a matter of it hurt Cody Rhodes. This is supposed... Okay,
how?
Right...
Explain how it hurt Cody Rhodes.
Because right now in AEW, there are 5 names.
But how is going to a... There's no clear-cut winner in this match. So how is it going to a draw hurting Cody?
Okay, let's go back in time.
Okay.
Let's say that...
Okay,
Ric Flair.
Let's go back in time. Okay, it went to a draw with Sting and Flair. At the first class, but no one really knew who Sting was at that time.
He had already been a mid-card guy. He had been going for some time.
But did anyone really care about Sting until he went that 60-minute Broadway with Ric Flair at Clash of Champions 1 going up against WrestleMania 4? Did anyone really give a shit? And be honest.
Yeah, there were fans. There was a market for Sting. Sting was moving up.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
Let's put it another way. Is Darby Allin Sting?
No, I'm not saying that.
There you go.
I'm not saying that. But at the same time, did going that draw with Ric Flair hurt Flair? No, it did not.
No, it promoted Sting. But that's the thing. Sting
and that's exactly what this did for Darby. It promoted Darby.
No, and I'll tell you why not. First off, Sting's got more talent in his pinky than this guy's got in his whole broken body. Secondly,
at the same time, dude, you're going off of 1980 perspective. Okay, I'm a child of the 1990s. I'm more invested into who this Darby character is, and I'm interested to see what he's going to do next. How far is he going to go?
No, see, that's what I'm saying. And it didn't hurt Darby Allin. This is what I'm saying, why it took away from Cody Rhodes. Because this guy doesn't have the actual wrestling talent. Beyond being able to get thrown around the ring and looking like he gets broken in half.
He's a brawler.
And doing stuff that's probably going to have him retired from wrestling within the next year.
Like, he reminds me of a younger version of Mick Foley. He really does. I'm sorry to say that, but he does.
The stunts. Because remember, Mick Foley used to do the Pepsi plunge. Or the Nesty plunge, whatever.
The Nesty plunge, exactly.
Yeah, where he would jump off of the backwards and that's actually
what got him hired in WCW.
Yeah, so, I mean, there is, and what did most of them look at as Mick Foley?
As a stuntman.
A glorified stuntman. So, this guy, he could have been used in a different spot. You see, that's another one of the problems with this, is they're putting these guys in main event pictures against these main event talents that are like Cody Rhodes, Dean Ambrose, and Kenny Omega. Chris Jericho, these guys.
Okay, now let me ask you a question. Let's fast forward a little bit, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say about 2 years. Can you see Darby Allin in a program with, let's say, a Chris Jericho?
No.
Why not?
For one thing, the man's about 110 pounds soaking wet.
But could you foreseeably see it? Look at Spike Dudley. Whenever he was in ECW, he was what? 185 pounds going up against guys that were twice his size.
But that was the gimmick for him, and it worked because he was the third Dudley.
But here's the thing. Darby Allin is kind of the same, cut from the same mold as Spike was.
Yes, but he doesn't have Bubba Ray and Devon.
No, he doesn't. But I think, honestly, with Shawn Spears interfering in this match, it could be a start of a faction within AEW with Darby Allin and Shawn Spears.
Now this is where, and this was actually, to me, a possible high point. Because I've been saying for the past two events of theirs that I've watched, even in clips, there has been no rhyme or reason to the matches.
No, there hasn't been.
But now we've got, Sean Spears?
Yeah.
He's the perfect 10 guy from
Ty Dillinger. He was Ty Dillinger.
Thank you. I couldn't remember his name. And, he has...
Or Stan, that Shawn Michaels super kicked in the face that one time.
Yeah. So he...
See, I just kicked Stan.
Yeah, it was... with him coming in, that kind of could start something between him and Cody Rhodes.
But I can honestly see...
And...
I mean, there are seeds there for a possible tag team with Darby and Shawn.
Well, see, what I'm looking at is they've got Joey Janela. They've got this Darby Allin.
And they have Jimmy Havoc.
They've got Jimmy Havoc. For what it's worth, they do have Moxley. He's a former
those guys honestly could form a faction. They really could.
I'm not looking at a faction. See, that's what I'm saying is people forget. They think all wrestling has to be together at one time, and it doesn't.
I'm not saying that at
all. These guys could come up if AEW wanted to do it. Remember, one of the big things back in the Attitude Era was what? The hardcore title.
Exactly.
Why don't they have a hardcore title?
They probably are going to.
See,
as far as we know right now, they have a tag title, a woman's title, and in discussion of doing a woman's tag title.
That would work out great, and have this own division. Have its division and have it going. And when you go into hardcore, size really doesn't matter because you have your equalizers.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you look at Havoc and Allen, they're both pretty well basically built the same man. Actually, if you really want to look at it, pretty much the same character.
In essence, yes.
I mean, even the way they come out to the ring, and the face. Well,
Darby has the face paint.
Darby does the face paint. Havoc does a mask.
Yeah, basically
when he's coming out. So and I'm saying, they could do that. And that could work out good. I don't think that needs to be separated. It's kind of like a tag team competitor going for a world title, a singles world title, just right out the gate.
Okay, now if we're gonna go into fancy booking on this. Let's say Darby Allin and Jimmy Havoc become a tag team. What do you do with them?
That would work out okay to an extent. But sooner or later, okay, this is the way they would, because of their size, but because of the lack of actual in-ring ability. Sooner or later, all of their major wins are going to have to come down to one thing: weapon. Something to equalize.
Behind the referee's back.
Exactly.
But here's what I'm thinking. You book them like that. Okay, they get a substantial wins. They end up possibly winning the tag title by shenanigans. You can do that. And,
because they would work out much better as a heel team.
And then honestly, what would happen to break them up is that one of them would get a shot at the AEW title. The other one gets jealous. And that begins a program between those two. Yeah.
And something like that could work out because it has
before.
That'd
be a very bloody, violent program.
Yeah, and it would work out, and that's what AEW's got to kind of do to set itself apart from, because as I've said multiple times, but you cannot beat Vince McMahon at Vince McMahon's own game.
No, you can't.
So you've got to be different.
Yeah.
This would make them different, and it would make them stand out.
Yeah.
While still keeping in the integrity of, you could have one of them. Okay, have them both have a tournament go. Or
well, they're doing a tournament for the tag titles.
No. I'm talking about we're doing the fantasy booking. We're talking like,
okay.
So let's say okay, perfect example. They have like a either a tournament or a battle royal.
Right.
And they both look at each other and go, "Well, are you going to go into No, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it."
Or what?
But they go behind each other's back, put their names in.
Or what they could do,
and then you have one of them go over,
or what they
can win it.
Or what they can do, what they did in the Attitude Era back in the day with Sunday Night Heat. Remember, before WrestleMania 15, they had like a 15-man or whatever battle royal on Heat, and the last two will become a tag team. These two could already be in a rivalry, have them become a tag team, and then to spite themselves, they become tag team champions.
Yeah, that could be something like, and you could even have it even going as far as like well, you can have like throwing Darby Allin throwing the Havoc at somebody. You could do, have them where they're basically fighting each other, but still kind of.
Yeah.
And I would be glad to see them go over the Young Bucks because I can't stand them anyway.
I think the Young Bucks would be okay with doing the job for them too.
Yeah.
I really do because like let's just be honest here. the Young Bucks, Cody, Kenny, they're your 4-man guys.
Yeah.
So let's just say that they're okay with doing the business here, doing the job. I'm all for Darby Allin and Jimmy Havoc to become a team and go over them.
Like I said, and they would work out good there. They would do something, that would be something to push them, and it would work out fine. And that's exactly what I think they could do. Now, there is one other match that I want to get into, and I know we were talking about this before, and this one's going to be.
This one pissed me the fuck off.
They are killing, quite possibly, one of their biggest draws in the women's division in Nyla Rose.
Dude, they could have put her in a 2-minute squash against these two chicks.
It should have been a 2-minute squash. It should have been a 3-minute squash. It should have been a squash match. And to have her lose, that is unbelievable. The whole time they're talking about her, okay, let's start off this match the way it started. You had them doing the Japanese girls doing handshake and everything. So Nyla gets a big smile on her face, and she shakes the hands with the one. She shakes the hands with the other, grabs her by the back of the head, and throws her out of the ring, turns around, grabs the other, and she just starts beating the crap out of both of them. And then the two girls look at each other, look at her, and they start attacking her. Well, that works because you got it. Now it's a 2-on-1 match, and the announcers actually say this. This is basically a 2-on-1 match now.
In essence,
At some point they're going to have to compete against each other, but the main target needs to be
take out the
monster.
Take out the biggest dog in the fight.
Well, they're trying to do Irish whips, and she's just pulling them and smacking them around. She at one time slammed them both on the ground, does a double splash, and pins them both at the same time, and they barely,
me and you agreed before we did this, that it should have been a 2-minute squash, not an 18-minute match.
And this match goes 18 minutes, and Nyla gets pinned.
Yeah, the commentators are saying, "Oh, her and Awesome Kong, her and Awesome Kong, her and Awesome."
This the possibility of a match coming up with Awesome Kong. Well, how is she supposed to be legitimate competition for Awesome Kong when she can't even be two girls that are not even the size of her thigh?
My point exactly. If I was booking this, if I was in charge, okay, let's say I'm Cody right now, and I have a little dog named Pharaoh. That was funny. Anyway, but if I'm booking this, I'm going to have her go over 2-minute squash. It's like, here's the thing. You have the Rockettes, right? And I explained this to you earlier. You have the Rockettes, and they're doing their thing. And you put Nyla Rose at the end of that line, who's everyone going to look at?
Yeah, she's going to be the center of attention. This is basically what I'm looking at. And for those of you who don't know, and I'm sure most of you who don't know this probably would not be listening to this podcast, but Nyla Rose is also the first transgender female competitor.
Exactly.
We have just ended Pride Month. They should push that. And this girl should go in and just destroy people.
Dominate.
We're going to, if I'm booking this is the way I've got it going. She is only going to compete in triple threat matches.
Yeah.
And she is going to decimate. Now, I'm going to leave the girls that they got going in that they want to be like their main competitors.
Right.
I would leave out the 80-year-old Smiley Kylie, or whatever the hell her name is.
I think she's 24, actually.
Well, she looks like she's about 110.
Could be the makeup. Anyways.
Yeah, and the character gives me the impression of one of them creepy PBS Kids show hosts.
I think that she did the gimmick before Bailey, though.
It don't matter. It don't work.
People are used to it from Bailey.
The dentist girl.
Oh yeah, Adam Cole's baby.
And Brandy Rhodes, I know she's going to be one of the big figuring in at some point.
And Kong.
Well, I would leave Kong out. I wouldn't have Kong. I would have Kong disappear.
But
now,
me and you both agreed that if you want your woman's title to have some legitimacy, you'll put it on Kong.
Well, see, this is what I would do. You could even have Kong. No, I'd leave it alone. I'd leave Kong alone.
Okay.
I would have Nyla annihilate the women's roster. And I mean, totally go in there and destroy everyone.
Oh, you definitely.
Get her probably, since they're doing this once a month, they're doing these like once a month or every 2 weeks.
Do to Nyla what they started to do with Nia in AEW and what they did with Kong in TNA.
I'm even going more on maybe even like a Goldberg-esque streak.
Do you really want to do that though?
No, that's what I'm saying. Goldberg-esque. where I'd have her taking on
so kind of like
kind of
like Asuka was in NXT.
Yeah, Asuka. No. Because Asuka actually did competitive matches. I wouldn't have her doing competitive. I would have her like Nia Jax in WWE, Kong in the beginning of TNA, and just have her come in, just beating the crap out of another good one. Another good example of it is Braun Strowman.
Yeah,
stuff like that, and have her as the monster heel,
right?
And then have them win their title. Have them go, whoever's going to win it. I might even go Brandy Rhodes because she's already got the tie. She's already got the tie to Kong because she brought Kong out. So I would have Brandy get it.
Yeah.
And then I would have Nyla challenge. And shock, Brandy would get decimated. Brandy would get destroyed. Brandy would get hurt.
Actually, what I would think here is have Nyla get so pissed off that she gets disqualified.
No.
But the reason why, and I'll tell you the reason why, is because Nyla could be your chaser in this. Remember what we talked about before with Roman being the chaser?
Yeah.
Hear me out, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You have Nyla just demolish her, get disqualified, and that could lead to a Awesome Kong Nyla feud, which will eventually lead to Awesome Kong and Brandy falling apart down the line.
Well, see, this is the way I'm thinking it. I have Nyla annihilate Brandy and hurt her. We're working it here. Not legitimate, but I mean...
Like, literally, like, we're working an injury here.
She would be coming in a leg cast, something like that, talking, my career's probably over.
Possibly a broken neck.
Yeah, something like that, to where I may never be able to wrestle again, blah, 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 blah.
And then you have Kong come in for revenge.
You have Nyla. I keep on, now, since I've brought up Nia Jax, I want to keep on saying Nia instead of Nyla.
No, retarded, right?
Yeah. You have her come in, and you know what you do? You do the Kurt Hennig.
What's that?
You have her work that damn cast over.
Oh, definitely.
Remember how many years Kurt Hennig wore that cast on his arm?
Right.
Just, and have Nyla just maybe even break the cast.
Right.
And then get on the mic. If I didn't retire you then, I did now, and walk out.
Right.
Well, you can have Cody come in. Cody's distraught. His wife hurt, blah, blah, blah. Next time, she comes out bragging, and she comes out, who's coming at me now? Who do I get to destroy tonight? Come on.
And then
Kong's music hits.
No, would it be even better? Have Cody come out and say, you hurt my wife. You put her out. I have a surprise for you. He walks away. Kong's music hits.
Well, see, I wouldn't even use Cody at the time.
But see, it would make sense for Cody to come out and do that.
It would.
Because any man out there is gonna want revenge for what happened to his wife, and since he can't physically put his hands on Nyla,
well, he could do that promo. I can't physically put I won't. Yeah. Always have him take the high ground. Yeah.
I won't put my hands on.
But I got someone who will.
But I got someone that will. And insurance policy.
And Kong's music
then Kong
comes
out. And then Cody would just point to Nyla and say, get her.
No, I wouldn't even. After her music hits, I would have Kong march just straight into the ring, right up into her face. We've got the stare down. We've got the show, and I'd have Kong hit her right in the mouth. Just straight bam. And Nyla don't sell. She smiles. Bam, back. Kong don't sell. So we have a true clash of titans.
You have Godzilla against Megadeth over
Yeah,
here.
and they're just going at it. Now this is the one. Nyla gets frustrated. She's never met someone that can match her in strength, match her in size, match her in every way. But Kong can't get the upper hand. Nyla Rose can't get the upper hand. This is the one. She gets disqualified in. She loses it. She grabs a chair. She starts swinging for the fences. She doesn't care. So now
she hit her. She might even hit a referee.
Whatever. Rhodes comes out. Then you're careless. You're reckless. You're suspended 30 days. And then stripped of the title.
And then what she can do is whenever he goes to check on Kong, she turns him around and gives him a press slam or something.
Yeah, we could have something like that. But I'm thinking,
to make her seem like she's like a rebellious person, have her take out one of the executive vice presidents.
Yeah. So this is all working into Now, we're already probably, 3 months down the road, 4 months down the road.
At least.
This is all working into, now she is suspended for 30 days.
But she gets
stripped
back in the building.
of the title. She gets in the building once, he comes out and or we won't even have Rhodes. Somebody else, even have the Young Bucks, Rhodes, Omega, everybody come out. You come back into the building one more time, you lose your job.
Or what she can,
we're going to fire you.
Or what she can do. Remember the Outsiders back in the day? How they would come into the building?
Yeah.
What she can do is say, well, you can't kick me out. I have a ticket.
Yeah. But I'm still going.
I'm just saying that's what I would do.
I'm saying, see, by them coming out in force and telling her, if you come in here again, you're going to be fired. That shows that these guys are kind of nervous about what she's going to do. Okay, we've already had her take out Kong. We've had her take out possibly ending Brandy's career. We've even had her attack Cody Rhodes.
Right.
When you see, four of the biggest names in their company comes out to face this one woman, what does that do to her? That says everybody's scared.
Right.
They don't know what she's going to do.
She's unpredictable.
And we have police, not security.
Police.
We have cops come in and escort her out of the arena.
With hands on their guns, possibly.
Yeah,
just to make it.
Even have one of them with taser ready, something like that, just to make it even more. We throw a tournament. Kong is your new champion. The 30 days are over. On the day, on the
day of the finals, the 30 days is up.
And Nyla returns.
She comes through the crowd.
She cuts through the crowd. They come out. You're still suspended? No, I'm not. My 30 days are up, and I want my title.
Or what you can do, you can have Nyla's music play. No, hear me out. Okay, you have Nyla's music play. It distracts Kong after she wins the match. This is after she's won the match. Okay, after she's got the belt, you have Nyla's music play. All right, it distracts Kong for a second. She's confused. Nyla cuts through the crowd, hits her with a spear. Okay, holds up the woman's title, and then yells at Kong, "It's mine. I'm taking your spot."
Well, see, I'm going more, still keeping her kind of outsider-ish.
I mean, it's still outsider-ish. But
like I said, as soon as I wouldn't even have her get to the ring. I would have her get to the apron, and then oh crap, and have just the flood again come out here. No, you're still suspended. We told you if you come back, and then that's
but do
when it
you
comes
really
out.
want to have two big pull aparts?
See, that's the thing. She wouldn't do a pull apart. She just smiles.
Okay, I can see that.
And she looks at them.
Well, I can see it. I can see it either or.
She goes. She gets her over, and then she looks at Kong and she goes, "I never lost that. You don't have it. That's my title. You didn't beat me.
Right.
You never won that title. I never lost it. That's mine.
Right.
We can have Kong, not Dodger, because you're not going to weaken Kong like that. We can have Kong going, oh, then come on in and get it. And then that's when they break in. No. You're not doing this match. Not yet. Then look, you could even have her. You got to remember,
and then
this is AEW. Okay. We're doing this by the right ways. You want a challenge for that title because you were stripped of it. You got to start at the bottom and work your way back up.
And then Nyla's first match on TV, squash. And then it gets down to the number one contendership between her and Britt Baker. Okay. I would have that one be a competitive match. I would have Nyla look a little bit like she's weakened.
Yeah, you've got to have that because you can't have two main people and that's it. That nobody else is going to. You've got Britt Baker. It's going to start off looking like, oh God, this is a squash match.
Exactly.
But in the common thing, then Britt Baker's going to come back. She's going to start fighting. She's going to get in and she's going to get the upper hand a few times.
Yeah.
She's going to get her close to maybe, but Nyla's going to pull it out.
Yeah.
Because we're selling
like you don't want Nyla to look too weak, but you want her to look at least somewhat.
Yeah, you want her to look to where it's believable that someone could possibly beat her that isn't Awesome Kong, and then you got the buildup, you got the fact that and Kong is going to come out and go, yeah, you've torn through this, you've done that, but if you remember right, your record, and this is stealing from Kevin Nash. your record might be impressive, but it does have one loss in the loss column, and I'm your one.
Yeah.
I remember him looking at Goldberg because right. You talk about this. Well, you better remember, I'm your one.
Or she could say, well, you've beaten a lot of people, and they're all on your hit list. You've pretty much accomplished your hit list, but there's one name not on that list, and that's mine.
You know, that, like I said, when you put it right out there, I'm your one. That's showing that she's got one blemish, and it's Kong. And you know, we can have, and
also we can have that happen during the contract signing for that match.
Yeah, and
then that's where you have the big pull apart, and that'd be how you end that episode of AEW.
Exactly. Then you get the pull apart, and then you got everybody trying to keep calm in the ring,
and then you have the announcers going, "Oh my God, what's going to happen next?"
That's actually one from Tony Schiavone. He said those are the greatest words ever uttered in the history of professional wrestling. Oh my God, what's going to happen next week? Because that makes everybody wonder, what is going to happen?
Or that could be like your go home show for a pay-per-view and be like, oh my God, what's going to happen at, let's say, Double or Nothing.
Yeah.
Well, oh my God, what's going to happen at Double or Nothing? Tune in, find out who's going to be the champion. And, dude, I'm pumped up now. It's not even happening.
Yeah, not even happening because AEW is screwing the pooch.
Like, I'm pumped up now, just wanting to see that match because of that promo I just did.
You know, AEW is what are we calling it? Mr. Fluffy Duck in the poop chute.
Pretty much.
You know, they're you know, I get
it. Going back to the whole booking part of it. You can have them to literally do a pull apart, and then they take out security. They take out everybody, the entire roster, just take them all out, and then you have the announcers go, "Oh my God, what's going to happen at Double or Nothing? What's going to happen Sunday?" They're not going to stop until one of them dies.
Yeah. If I'm doing this, literally, the last thing you see before the screen goes black is them just tearing security, like you said, you know, getting security out of the way, getting everybody cleared, and then them getting their hands on each other again.
Yeah,
and have them just swing for the fences. I mean, just totally just where it, you know, it's
have it look like a hockey fight.
Exactly. As soon as, and you know, it's like as soon as you see them get a hold of each other, maybe two punches get thrown, the screen goes black.
Yeah,
you're going to have people like, holy crap, they're going to be after this. And you know, AEW has got to start doing stuff like this. And I'm gonna come right out and I'm gonna say it right here and right now. There is one major problem with AEW.
What's that?
They're hiring all their fucking friends.
Pretty much.
And they want all of their friends to have this like, oh, look here, we're going to do this and we're going to do that. And these guys can be the nicest guys in the world. And I'm not trying to put anybody down. You know, I'm saying go for it. Great. You got your friends working for you. That's, you know, hey, you got your own wrestling company. Why not have your friends working for you?
Right.
But everyone can't be in a top spot. You know, like, as they pointed out with the girl that beat, I believe it was the one Rio or whatever that actually pinned Nyla Rose in that match.
Know.
She's Kenny Omega's favorite partner for intergender tag matches.
Yeah.
So you're saying it right there. Your announcers are saying why she won.
Yeah.
She's a friend of Kenny Omega.
Yeah.
You know, you had still one of the high points of the shows every time they do it, MJF. When he's in the first one, he's kicking the crap out of this guy, and he looks at him and he goes, "You're worthless. You're just a favorite to the Young Bucks."
Pretty much.
You cannot build your company around doing favors for your friends.
No, you can't. Sorry about that.
At some point, this has got to stop, or it's going to kill their company before it gets going.
Yeah.
And let's face it, they keep talking about the fact that they've got a guy that pulled strings and got him on TV quick, on a major network. We're not talking, 4 a.m. on the TV channel, guide channel. We're not talking Impact here.
Which is now going to Access.
He pulled strings and got him a major network deal. This guy is a billionaire. He did not become a billionaire by making stupid decisions.
Yeah.
If they
he's being sold something.
Well, no. What he's getting is his son's looking at him and going, "Daddy, I want to be a pro wrestling promoter." Okay, son, go buy you a company. And that's exactly it.
But
as soon as he keeps going up to Daddy going, well, Daddy, we lost a lot of money this month. Daddy's going to sooner or later look at him and go, well, then it's time to close the pro wrestling company.
Like, here's my thing. Like, the way we have this laid out between Nyla and Kong, that could be your main event.
Yeah.
And that should be your main event. Because people are invested in it.
And then this is the kicker. Hong. I have just created a new character that's going to make a debut as well. Hong. No.
Like Orange Julius?
Yeah, just like Orange Julius. Kong.
You said it right this time.
She could actually turn heel.
Yeah.
Let's have Rose beat Kong this next time. We actually get her at the pay-per-view. She pins her.
But here's the thing. How about we have this be a prolonged program?
It is.
But hold up. And we actually have Kong get herself disqualified. In the first one.
No. I would have her win, and this is why. Because now we're going to turn both. Kong becomes heel, Rose becomes face.
How so? Lay it out to me.
The only reason you beat me is because we all know I was wrestling a man.
Damn.
You have Kong attack the LGBT part of it.
Oh, tell the truth, brother. Tell the truth, man.
You know, no woman here could beat me, and I didn't lose to a woman.
I lost to a man.
Have her hit that. Well, now Rose is going to go, no, I'm a woman, Dan. Da-da-da-da-da. Kong's going to keep throwing it.
We're going to get heat for that.
Well, no, I mean, I've never...
I don't have a problem with it, by the way. By the way, we love the LGBT community.
And that's why I say that's what would change Kong. Have her attack that. You know, you have an unfair advantage.
Right, because you're biologically a male.
You know, always have her call Nyla Rose a man. Always have her call her a man. Always you know, it's going to give Kong some heat, and I'm sorry, Kong. I mean, I know I've heard so many people talk. I've seen her, and she seems like a sweet person.
But that would definitely.
But this would definitely give her. Let's face it. As soon as she looked at the camera and said, "I didn't lose," everyone knows there's not one woman in here that can beat me.
And then what we can do,
and I didn't lose to a woman. I lost to a man.
And what we can do is we can go Southern with it, old school Southern wrestling, and have a lawyer show up. Hold up. This is where it gets really stupid, but it's going to be hilarious for a second. And then say, well, Nyla shouldn't be woman's champion. She's not a woman.
We could go, if you wanted to really get heat. And then this would also make, let's have, Omega because I think Rhodes is still trying to be a heel.
I think he's a tweener.
Yeah, he might be a tweener. But anyway, have one of them come out and be like, no. That's a woman. She is a woman, and have her. This would make the company, first off, huge support of LGBTQ.
Yeah.
And it would use her being a transgender competitor without making it, it would kind of be the same thing she faces on the streets every day. It would make it more edgy, more real that, how many times. And I'm also, I will say this. I have a very dear friend. I say this is my best friend in the world. I will always say that. I love her to death. She is transgender. So this is something that is near to me. When I see people going against this, and I see like the people, oh, that's a man going into the women's room. No, Antonia is a woman. I love that woman more than anybody on earth. She is one of the sweetest people you ever know. So this is something that actually does hit home with me, because it's something that if you're against her, you're against me automatically. And that's so I can see them using it and kind of drawing positive, and then you could even have like the guys coming out and supporting her, the other women in the roster come out.
And then you can have MJF be a smartass.
Well, yeah, but that would be his thing. But I mean, you could have the other women come out on the roster and go, no, she's our women's champion, and get that
vote of support.
She's going to have the vote of support and all of this, so we can make it a big thing. And, it would promote it to another level.
And that's just seriously that if anyone from AEW is listening to this podcast, do this, and I guarantee you, ratings will shoot through the roof.
Yeah.
People will be invested, and you will finally do something correct instead of Deputy Dan bullcrap and Orange Julius and
more orange crushing from Orange Julius
and the Walmart dude and Luchasaurus wearing that. Book this. I'm paying to watch it. Make it happen. It needs to happen. Do it now. If you don't do it now, I'm suing you.
It's something that...
Sorry, went on a tangent there.
Yeah. But, I mean, it's just something that would make this company into a whole other light. And it's something that... Another thing that would actually separate it from the WWE.
It would definitely separate from WWE.
Because let's
WWE is not doing anything for the LGBT community except for the whole Sonya Deville thing. That's beside the point.
Yeah, but and see, that's their main problem. They don't actually... They had Darren Young.
Yeah.
He was a good competitor. He was great in ring. And what did they were like
Orlando Jordan.
They were embarrassed. I remember one of his things he almost quit over was the fact that on this red carpet thing, they were taking pictures of all the couples coming in, and they tried to get his husband to step to the side. And he's like, wait a minute, you're going to take pictures of all these couples, but you're not going to take a picture of me and my husband? And then they were, okay, and have him and then they cut him out of the picture. Because they didn't want to show that, The only time the WWE has actually done anything with anything to do with homosexuality or any of that, they've done it as a joke. I mean, the biggest one I think recently has been the marriage between Billy and Chucky.
Oh, good God, that was bad.
That was horrible. The whole gimmick was horrible, and the fact that neither one of them were freaking.
It wasn't even that, dude. They did a bait and switch on Glad.
It's been, but I mean that's what they've been using it as a punchline.
Because literally, that whole angle got publicized in the gay community.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then they did a bait and switch on SmackDown and said, we're not gay. We don't have nothing against gay people, but we're not gay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They used to, and they've had openly gay or bisexual competitors, and that is something that they don't want to acknowledge. So
I think a lot of it has to do with it being a publicly traded company. No,
that wouldn't.
I think a lot of the projection is probably because of that. And plus the fact that Vince is just Vince.
Yeah, and I mean most of the time he's just trying to think of new ways of doing incest lines.
Come on, dude. He came with a whole angle when Stephanie was pregnant, and have it be revealed that he's the father of the kid.
Yeah.
And then she nixed that idea, and then he was like, okay, what about Shane? Let's make Shane the father.
Yeah. So,
well, Vince Russo had the same idea in WCW with the whole David Flair and Stacy Keibler angle being married, quote unquote. Mm-hmm. And it was supposed to be revealed later that Stacy Keibler and David were actually brother and sister, that Rick had an affair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Vince sort of was hinting at the same thing and did want to do that with Triple H and Stephanie.
Pretty much.
But so see, you would set yourself aside.
And then they teased this angle with Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, and then as soon as people realize, they're teasing a lesbian angle, they drop it.
Well, yeah, because they're not lesbians.
No, because I think Sonya Deville's actually engaged to be married to Seth Rollins' ex.
Okay, so she is a lesbian.
Yeah, she's straight up lesbian.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she's.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying.
But Mandy isn't. I don't think.
Well, see, and that's what they would be making it. They would be doing this.
You didn't know that?
No, I don't. I haven't really paid any attention to.
Like her attire is like gay pride all the way around. A lot, like her WrestleMania attire this past year was literally rainbow.
I didn't watch WrestleMania.
Yeah, it was literally rainbow.
Okay.
And like her newest merch is like rainbow attire.
So it's pride.
Yeah.
Attire.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, see, now I don't have trouble with that. See, that's what I'm saying. Is if you use it, like if you have a gay, like with Darren Young, he could have come out and been something supportive in the gay community.
You know what's messed up?
He was a good competitor. He needed a better character. I mean, what was the $1 Million Players or whatever?
I forgot what they were called.
With
primetime players.
Primetime players.
They used to say billions of dollars.
Yeah, millions of dollars. Yeah, that's.
And then they did the whole thing, make Darren great again. When was he great?
Yeah, he needed a better gimmick.
Had to be great first.
But he actually was a really good in-ring.
He's a good wrestler, but they stuck him with the bullcrap fucking gimmicks that didn't work.
Yeah, they did. They were bad. Yeah, you got to look at the door for referee discretion.
It's AEW, dog. One. What comes after one?
Yeah. Luckily the
haven't you noticed that every time I say a messed up word, I look over a little?
Yeah, because you're doing that. But luckily so far the referee.
Because now the signs are moved over there.
And there. Oh yeah, it used to be behind us here. But yeah, the referee's still trying to figure out what comes after potato.
I think it's 1 potato, 2 potato. Welcome to the 2 potato.
Yeah.
When I get old and cannot count, I want to be a referee.
And AEW is hiring.
They're hiring like hotcakes right now.
Yeah.
To send your qualifications to Cody at Cody.com. I don't know if that's really a website or not.
And also,
if you pass kindergarten, you can work on AEW.
Spelling is not necessary. And neither is vision. So
Vince Russo, you can get a job, brother. Just letting you know right now. Just call Cody up. I'm sure you got his number.
I doubt that. No, Cody is like, no, I ain't even getting near that.
Because, come on. He started off as a magazine writer. Couldn't even spell.
Well, that is true, Well, actually.
And then he became lead creative.
You want to hear the funniest thing of it all?
What?
The absolute funniest thing of it all. With Vince Russo, who do you think is let's call it his arch enemy?
Jim Cornette.
Hands down. Wouldn't you say Jim Cornette?
I think Jim Cornette's Batman and he's Joker.
Yeah.
I wouldn't give him Joker.
Actually, that actually fits. No, that analogy fits. Because
Joker's more badass, though.
You know who got Vince Russo into working in the wrestling business at all?
Was it him?
He was a third party that was hired to help distribute videos for, I can't remember what it was that Cornette was producing, and he helped distribute these videos. The guy, he went to another person and he said, hey, I got this guy in New York that'll help distribute them. He'll get them made up, da-da-da-da-da. And then Russo screwed them over.
Wow, so the bad blood goes back that far.
And the thing of it is, Cornette didn't know about it until like last year.
Oh.
This guy was talking and he was like, yeah, it's like that guy you had in New York. And he goes, oh, that was Vince Russo, didn't you?
What was his reaction?
You'd have to look up the podcast.
Is it on which podcast?
It's on The Experience.
Okay, I'll look it up.
I've got, but to think, he created Vince Russo. He got him working in the wrestling business.
So in essence, what happened here? It goes back to the Batman '89 version.
Exactly.
Because Jack Napier killed his parents, he becomes Batman, and then Batman fucking just drops him.
Again, referee discretion.
We're good.
Yeah.
He's not counting to 10 yet. We're good.
Yeah, just as long as we do not get kicked out of here.
If we get kicked out of here, we're screwed, dude, till you get your computer.
Well, actually, and that might be tonight. So that could be good. Oh, man. If I knew it was going to... Oh, man. Sucks.
What?
Oh, no, it's stuff I'm thinking about. But I was just thinking, if it was going to be tonight, I got an idea for something. But then it's like, well, no.
The AEW official is not counting us down here, okay? We can do a hour and 15-minute triple team right now.
Yeah, that seems to be okay, that's another thing they need to do. They got to stop that crap.
They really do.
And they also, I get that they're going to tag team heavy, but they need some singles matches.
They're doing what Jim Crockett Promotions did back in the day. Because if you look at Jim Crockett Promotions back in the day, it was mostly
there was a lot of tag team.
It was mostly tag team.
But this
heavy.
is the thing, even a tag team match with a tag team, one tag team and two tag teams, and they fight each other. That's different. But they're always doing triple threats or quad, fatal four ways or something. They've always got
it's kind of like Japan in that regard.
Yeah, but it's also it's really clustered.
Because if you look over in Japan, majority of the matches are what? Either 6-man tags, triple threat tags, regular tags.
I can see 6-man. Okay, I can see 6-man. And although they need to lay back from the 6-man because they got to do something. Okay, the 6-man goes with Freebird rules.
Yeah,
and that's fine, and that works, especially if you're doing a heel team. heel teams work great with Freebird rules because if everyone remembers right, the Freebirds were heels.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Well, no, I mean every
in World Class, they started off as good guys
until they turned on the Von Erichs.
Well, what happened was, I think it was Kerry against Flair in a cage or whatever, and Flair hits Kerry from behind. He bumps into Michael, and then Terry Gordy took the cage door and just said, "You white boy," and bashed his brains in.
Yeah, and that turned them against the Von Erichs, and they had a great feud with that. They went into Memphis and had the feuds. They were in WCW and Crocker Promotions.
Cup of coffee. It was a cup of coffee everywhere.
Yeah, because they didn't work long. Although I still got to say, P.S. Michael Hayes is one of the greatest promos ever to walk the face of the earth.
Yeah, he's a good hype man, but he couldn't take a bump or the crap.
But see, that's why he worked, and that's the way even look at the New Day, the modern Freebirds.
In essence, yeah.
They're the longest running 3-man team, other than the Freebirds.
True.
Xavier Woods is the mouthpiece. The man's great on the mic,
but he can also perform.
He's good. No, he's good in the ring, but his main job was a mouthpiece.
Yeah, pretty much.
He's really had to step up now that Kofi Kingston is the world heavyweight champion.
I legit thought that when the New Day formed, I thought it was supposed to be like another Nation of Domination.
I thought it was going to go that way too. I thought when I was seeing the promos for the original New Day, I looked at that and I thought, well, this is going to last about 6 months.
Because, I literally thought it was going to be another Nation of Domination. Just not with all those guys.
Yeah. And my hat is off to Kofi, Big E, and Xavier. Those two guys took a gimmick that was destined to fail.
And worked. And
ran with it. And not only did they run with it,
they scored every touchdown.
They scored touchdowns every time they touched it. They done great. It has revived. It's
revitalized Kofi. It really has.
Kofi is a incredible competitor. He always has been, but he's always been just this close. He
was the Shelton Benjamin syndrome.
Exactly. He was a great undercard guy, and he had the potential to go in main event. They just never quite got there.
That's the problem with Shelton. Shelton he has the ability to be a main event quality guy. He just can't talk.
No. Now, Kofi was okay.
But if you stick him with the manager, he can go places.
Yeah. You got to remember, Kofi actually, he can talk, and he does have a quick mind about him. He's the one that hit with the Usos. The only reason why you're relevant is your wife's on Total Divas.
Right.
Yeah, that was a low blow.
Oh, definitely.
That one was good though.
But if you were to stick Shelton, if you were to stick Shelton with let's say a Paul Heyman,
yeah,
he can go places.
Or Kurt Angle.
I don't know what the deal is with him now. He's acting really weird.
They should have put him back with Kurt Angle.
Well, Kurt was leaving.
Yeah, but if they could have offered him the manager position, they
could
have tagged him for a while.
Why didn't Jason Jordan and Shelton team up? That would be a pretty good tag team, actually.
Well, they tried to do it with Chad Gable, didn't they?
Yeah, but it's but
yeah, I kind of see that, Yeah. But it was actually something. But you
mean mini Bobby Roode?
Don't even get me started on Bobby Roode.
He's mini version.
No, Bobby Roode is the Ric Flair of the 2000s.
I would say the Miz.
No,
I would disagree. I'll say the Miz. As far as talking goes, Miz.
Roode is the total package.
But as far as promo style goes, yeah, Roode is the whole package. But as far as promos go, Miz.
I will give you that. The Miz, the best I've ever seen the Miz do was in the feud that never happened with Daniel Bryan.
And it should have.
Yeah.
It really should have.
Yeah,
it should have happened long before it happened.
Oh, yeah. That was when he was spitting venom.
Oh, God.
He was incredible.
Every talking smack, dude. Oh, my God.
A lot of people talked about that, and they've actually asked Bryan Danielson, even when he was not doing not even the work in the gimmick, which that's Daniel Bryan's real name.
Is it?
Yeah,
is that his real name?
Bryan Danielson.
I never knew that.
I
thought it was like Tyler Black or whatever.
No. That's Seth Rollins.
Yeah, but I thought Tyler. I thought it was like
no. As far as I know, he was always the American Dragon Daniel.
I thought it was like Tyler Black was before he became Seth Rollins.
Yeah,
that was my thought process.
Oh no! As far as I know, it's actually his birth name. But they talked about that time that him and the Miz were in it, and he walked. He like literally he unmiked and just walked off and was like, get out of my face, get away, even like to the cameraman and everything.
Yeah.
And they were like, that really threw a lot. And you guys knew you didn't think you were going. And he was like, no, I left there because I was about to hit him.
Yeah, they had like legit heat they probably still do.
That was the thing. And the Miz started the promos out. This was all planned. It was all the work.
And he went off script a lot.
That was the thing. They actually let him go off script. They actually said, hey, go do this. And
when you give someone that freedom, that's what happens.
And when it was hilarious because at that time they were still actually
TVPG.
No, they still, because Talking Smack was on the network.
Yeah.
But they were doing like, I think AJ Styles was World Heavyweight Champion.
Yeah, he was the world champion at the time.
I
think it was Dean or one of those two.
But I mean, they were having like, they're having the Miz and Bryan actually made the Intercontinental title
mean something
more relevant than the world title, and there was never even a match involved in it, and that's what was like, holy crap!
Because Daniel Bryan couldn't get cleared.
Yeah, he couldn't until after the feud had cooled down.
Exactly.
Because I mean, they couldn't keep going on that, and they did try to give like a little closure on it and have this match, and it's like, no, that doesn't work.
Yeah, because like a famous Freebird said, the bloom was off the rose.
Exactly. It was over with by then. And that's why I say that was probably the greatest WWE feud that never happened.
Yeah, well, I think we're about done with this journey.
Yeah, it would look that way. We've gone, I don't know how long we got. I don't time shit anymore.
Yeah, I think we're about done with this journey. So for...
wait. Don't we have announcement from the upper management?
Yeah, we have an announcement from the office. With the success of this podcast, we are going to try, possibly, to do something on a Saturday at 6:05.
Yeah.
I will let Joe explain.
What we're going to be doing is, as we've been having... we even had some suggestions and other things for the match of the week. We thought it would be funner if you get to watch the match of the week with us. So what we're going to be doing is working with Facebook and having a video come out every 6:05 every Saturday of our match of the week. Of course, in the comments for the current match of the week, you can always leave suggestions for the next match of the week. And if we do pick your idea, you get a shout out on the podcast and, of course, in the video for match of the week, where basically I'm going to ask anyone who submits this, because I get enough of it from Mike, don't do the matches that are going to make me have brain aneurysms. Give me something good. Like, Flair Steamboat, Savage Steamboat.
Guys.
A one that doesn't get a lot of attention, but should. Barry Windham, Ric Flair.
Guys, give him Starrcade 97. The botch finish.
I mean, there is the guy that, and remember, we also could do the Hogan Flair First Blood match. That was second blood match, third blood match, and then it end with Hogan pinning Flair. Are
you talking about Uncensored?
I think so.
Was that a First Blood match?
Yes.
No, that was the barbed wire cage match.
No. It was a steel cage. It wasn't barbed wire.
There was a barbed wire on it, because I'm watching it on the network right now.
And it was the one I'm talking about was a First Blood match.
They had so many matches.
They had a First Blood match that Hogan bled like twice and then pinned Flair.
WCW.
Yeah. WCW.
Where the big boys play with each other.
So, I guess with that announcement, I guess actually we could talk about what we'll be doing this Saturday, because if you're going to be watching, hopefully everything works out right and we get this up and out.
We are going to be watching the formation of the NWO.
Yeah, from
WCW Bash at the Beach 1996.
There you go.
Yeah, that's a pivotal night. I believe, for anyone in professional wrestling at that time.
Well, basically, everyone talks about the Monday Night War. That was the Attitude Era versus the Outsider Era and the NWO era of WCW. Well, this
was the apex.
Yeah, this was when everything came to a head.
The cards aligned.
Yeah, and
planets came into alignment. NASA, satellites were going off, going beep, 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 shorthand.
This is when, and it was the start of the, 86 weeks?
83.
83 weeks.
Eric Bischoff, you should watch this because this is going to be about your podcast.
Yeah.
So cheap pop there for 83 weeks with Eric Bischoff and Conrad Thompson.
Yeah. This was the start.
Cheap plug.
Cheap plug, and they're not even, no kidding, it's cheap. It was free. They don't pay us for crap.
They don't pay us for anything. Y'all should pay us for this crap. Anyways, signing off, Two Guys in a Wrestling Podcast. I'm Mike.
I'm Joe.
Later.